One of the cool things about the Associate Trainer Network here at DKSH is that they are almost always not professional trainers, and we do this by choice. We want people who have practical knowledge more so than we want people who are polished, sophisticated presenters. And we also realize that that might mean that you might be passionate about your knowledge, but you may not be so confident about facilitating. So let's talk about some things you can do to help increase the confidence and passion with which you facilitate. The first, and probably the most obvious, is to prepare sufficiently. The more time that you've spent practicing and preparing, the more confident you'll be. And in fact, the first time you deliver a class, we would suggest you plan on 2 hours of preparation for each hour of class time. Schedule this over several weeks so you have time to really get familiar. And in fact, when you practice, lock yourself in a room, stand up and practice out loud. Don't just read through stuff. When you say things, you'll become more comfortable and confident with the key points, the questions you ask, etc. We'd also suggest that you consider co-facilitation. Delivering a class is a pretty heavy burden if you're not a professional facilitator. Delivering with someone else makes it a lot easier. And even if they just come and help with a portion of the class, or they're there to just kind of back you up, provide additional examples and moral support, that makes things easier. You'll also feel more confident if you get to know your audience, either through meeting them beforehand or meeting them as they arrive. But the more you know about them and their specific context, the more you'll feel like this is a comfortable conversation rather than you being the authority figure. We'd also suggest that you take care of yourself physically. And what we mean by this is if you have not gotten a good night's rest the night before, even a couple of nights before the training, you are going to be exhausted and you will not be at your best. Get a good breakfast in the morning, drink plenty of water throughout the day. Just take care of yourself, because this really is a physical performance just as much as a mental performance. We also suggest that you plan on arriving early. In fact, get the room set up the evening before, and then arrive at least an hour before the class to make sure everything works, everything's set up, you have everything you need, and really target for about 30 minutes before the class is scheduled to begin to basically have the music on, have the slides up, and just to be able to take a deep breath, relax, and then introduce yourself to people as they arrive. This way you will be under a lot less stress and pressure. Finally, I'd encourage you to just cut yourself some slack. No one is expecting you to be perfect. So if you make a mistake, just simply correct yourself. If you forget something, well, honestly, they'll probably not know that you've forgotten it, but if you want to go back and say, oh, sorry, I forgot something, let me go back and talk about that, go ahead and do it. And if someone asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, well, that's fine. Just say, that's a great question. I don't know, but let me find out for you. I can guarantee that you're going to have some butterflies in your stomach, and that's perfectly okay. Learning occurs when you're outside your comfort zone. But I can also assure you that the more you practice, the more you prepare, the more times you deliver, the more confident you'll become, and the more your passion will shine through.